Good morning everybody. Now we're on the Victorian build again, and we're back to build a curved wall. We've got two pillars here for the gateway about a metre apart, two big pillars for the gates to come in, and so the foundations I've noticed is just slightly running down. We've got to do it in Flemish bond as well, so I've got to kind of curve it round somehow, and it isn't a very good sweep round. We haven't put the foundations in, another groundworker's put them in for us, so I think it slightly runs up here and so on. They always start at the lower end and then build up and chase your curve around. Okay, so this is the length. It's about 17 metres in all, roughly. And then if we take the centre metre out, that's 16 metres. And that's going to be setting out today, roughly. Okay, so we'll come back to you when we set it out, show you dry laying it to see how the bond comes up to the pillar. Right, there we are, we've got it all dry laid out. We've got the bend that we want. Try not to make it 50 pence piecing, but to get a gentle swoop around. And then it's working in bond on the steps. And we squared the pillar off the house. And there we go. It's good to start building. So I'm going to build this section first. Right, as I showed you, dry laid out. What I'm going to do here is going to start at the bottom. Because you start at the bottom like climbing the stairs, it's much easier. So we'll build that pillar up and chase the curve around to the next pillar here. So I will do this section first, and then we go on to the second section down there. So we're introducing lime into the mix. With it being an exposed wall to the elements, it's prone to spalling. That is when the frost gets and the cold gets into the brick swells. But if the cement's rock hard and very strong mix, then the face blows off the face of the bricks, no matter how strong the bricks are. So if you notice, all the old-fashioned walls been there for years, you know, decades and decades, and they don't break off because it's built with lime. But we're putting cement in as well, according to the British standard for extensions and whatever. Okay, catch you in a bit. We've levelled up, we've gauged down from our profile over there, which we've taken from the damp course on the house, and we know that it's bang on 6 courses. It's working exactly in from the foundation up to the damp course, and so we're sweeping around slowly like here, working round to the next pillar here. Okay, so we've had to put a line across there, which we'll show you in a second, to make sure that the pillars are in line and squared off the house, because you can go offline with them. And so this is the way I've had to do it, is coming through slowly, levelling through, and as I say, I'm just going to build this section. So these are imperial bricks. They're quite big and heavy, but I really like laying them. They're really nice to lay. And as I see, there we go. Okay. Here we are introducing 12mm rods, reinforced bars, and they'll be tied together so it brings strength to the pillar. Putting some bars in just to give strength, and then these will be tied together with wires. Resined in with a fixing resin. Right, we've been building freehand. The bricks are soaking wet, which has been raining a lot, so I can't go too high. I want to get my profiles in, but I've had to do it by just using the level. So we've got that up to there, up to damp course, and then we're running in now, starting to take it round. So got our bars in, But I'm just going to carry on just doing a few courses to show you. And we've got lime in it. Because this wall's exposed to the elements, we've put more lime in it basically, so that so what you might think with this wall, oh, he's put snap headers in. Well, yeah, because the owner has hundreds of them from when we did this extension, and he wants me to use them up. However, I do put every now and then one through one on. That ties the wall all together. Now you might say that's not really good, but you look on a lot of terraced houses, when you take them down, that's what they've done. So people might say this is not Flemish bond, but it's a kind of Flemish bond. It's in that style. I get that Flemish bond has the bricks going right through. Some people might say, why don't you use closers over there? Well, I've used 3/4 bats, which a lot of people said that I should be doing on there, not using closers. Everybody's got a different idea, so you just got to do it your own way, and what way suits. So I'm not going to be able to point this up today because it's 4 o'clock. I'm going to come tomorrow morning and we'll be talking. I'm just going to leave it as it is because it's February the 19th, and the weather's kind of damp and wet. So when I come tomorrow, that'll be like on a warm day, just going enough to joint up. Okay, catch you when I'm in. There's your through one. So when I was setting out, some people said, "Oh, it's Flemish, it's stretcher bond." Well, no, it is in Flemish bond. So setting out can be deceiving. Anyway, catch you in a minute. Got the profiles up, a lot better with the profiles. I'm finding when I'm building it by freehand, and because of the type of bricks, they seem to just slide out or move around because they're solid bricks. And so, and they're wet. No matter what we've done, we've tried to keep them dry, but the weather's incredible. So they do ooze and they do float. But otherwise, with the profiles on, it keeps it steady. What I always do as well, I keep one side always work from, which is seen. So that's how I do it. But I make sure these have got good sides on. You'll see a different side, the difference in the bricks I've mentioned before, and I can tell which ones are different. Them are slightly pink. These are slightly pink, and these are more of a yellow. And if I've been pulled on this online, so I'm going to show you now. Here, you see the cripping, and they're not too bad on them ones, but generally they are slightly different in width and sizes. You have to mix and match them. Make sure you've got a good face, good edge on. This pillar is going to take a lot of weight. Sorry. Always keep one edge against that edge, and the cut edge. Do it every time you do it the same, and then it won't alter. I haven't done these pillars in fully Flemish bond. I've done it in a type of Flemish bond. It will look okay with the house. It's difficult with the size of the pillars, but it'll look good with the gates when the gates are on, which I'll probably just flash you up a picture now. But as I said, don't pull me on this. This isn't fully Flemish bond, but it just looks similar. Okay, so I'll crack on. As I go, I'll explain. I'm not about speed on these things, it's about getting it right. So, pricing them, how do you price this? Very difficult because it's old brickwork, it's bigger gauge, it's Flemish bond. So £150 per square metre or a pound of brick. So the 2,000 bricks, £2 for the big wall like this. That's just to give you some idea. But we are in Stoke-on-Trent, and your prices in your area might be different. Okay. I don't know whether I mentioned this, but we always start building from the bottom up, like you're walking upstairs, especially if you're on step foundations as this is. So I start at the bottom, work up and then build up here and connect with the other. Now you're wondering why I'm putting headers in here. It's because there's a tight bend and we don't want the 50p piecing, so we put, where it's tighter, we put the headers in, and that enables us to get a nice curve. wants building. Okay. Whew. Right, there you go. With that wall sort of started, I'm back onto the pillars on the other side. This is the second pillar we're building. That's got the reinforcing in. Again, it's not on the fully Flemish bond, it's just a bit of a bond I made up so that it looks kind of Flemish bond, if you're going to start pulling me on it. But I just found it easier to do this. And it looks all okay when the gates are on, as I've showed you in the previous picture. But getting a big pillar like this, I always find it's much easier to get up your profiles. Once you've set them up, it keeps the wall nice and stops it mushrooming out. You haven't got to keep using your plumb level, plumbing here, plumbing there. You just get on and build it. So anyway, I'll crack on with this and I'll show you as I go. These are the queen closures that we're using, or they're a closure, not a queen closure goes right through, but this is just a simple closure, and I'll show you a little bit of cutting them in a minute. For the pillar or pier, we've got a lot of cuts because it's a big pier, 8 in a row, and I've got to cut a lot of them. Okay, so to get 2 meters high, you've got to cut quite a lot. So instead of keep measuring, what I've done, devised a little jig. So you put it on there and you score it with your mark, and then that exactly the same fitting. Okay, just a little tip, saves you measuring, cutting all the time with a tape measure like this. These are 5, 50 mil each they are. Okay, there you go. Put the scaffold up a little bit now, taking it higher because we've got to go about 8 foot, 2 point something meters or 2 meters high, and it's going to take a lot of weight. So we've got to fill the cavity in the middle with concrete. You can see our rebars there. But as I say, I'm taking it up and then I'll carry on to get it to the height. Okay, we're back on the job. We finished the curved wall, we finished the pillars, we finished the section that comes around there. Now to divide the garden, well, the driveway from the garden, we're building a wall here. So again, it's in Flemish bond. We've got a pillar at each end. I've dry laid it out so the nose is exactly correct. And we'll rack up each corner, and I should finish that possibly tomorrow. We're just at the end of the day now, but we're just setting out. Okay, catch you in the build. Okay, right, we're working again on this wall with the pillars and the Flemish bond, but it's a type of Flemish bond, not full Flemish bond, what we call garden wall bond. So I've taken the throughs out because it's got that many halves when we were doing this extension that you want me to use all the halves up. So that's the reason. But maybe if you're doing a wall, the idea is to put a small profile up, and so that you can put your pin behind it, save you building little corners up. So the weather's better now, much better. We're having a lot of rain. A lot of the bricks were wet, but it's different now, much better. No matter how much you cover your bricks, you still get wet. Especially these bricks, they just hold the water. Right, let's have a look. We've got to put 3/4 in because we are on. So in the meantime, I popped up to Furness Brick. I had an invite by James Collinger, and he took me around the factory to look how the bricks were made, and I was quite amazed at what went into these wonderful bricks. So it's quite noisy. This is a big cylinder, all the shale goes in there, it tumbles around and it finds it down and makes it into smaller shale so that they can really compact and make really strong bricks. There we are, we've just seen the furnace is showing me there firing away. This is the clay. Here they are making them into the moulds. And here we go, there's another mould made for a client, and that can be used and used again. And here we are in the factory with James.
Letter, and it would authorise where it was from.
Oh, that's brilliant.
The Aston Brick Company Limited, and a picture of the works.
Fantastic.
All right?
Yeah, brilliant.
Okay, back to the job and the wall.
Okay. Always good to set up so you're not bending, knocking your back. Always looks a bit lighter when it's wet, but we've got colourant in it, black colourant. As I say, I reiterate, it is a type of Flemish bond. When I say type of Flemish bond, it's because I'm not putting the full bricks through. Making sure some of these headers, slick bricks are slightly bigger than the others, and you've got to watch your headers that they don't start creeping, and that's my problem. Gonna do a tick-tock one.